Alright, so yeah, draft underway. It also gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit more about Fnatic. Blitz and I spoke a little earlier. There is some conundrums that the team have to solve internally. I just wonder, how do they bounce back after losing the opening match and now losing the opening game to complete? That's going to put a lot of pressure on that team that aren't necessarily performing very well collectively or actually communicating very well right now.
Yeah, this is really going to come down and test Mushi's leadership, because at Shanghai, when they were 1-1 against OG, remember, they were able to kind of mentally fortify themselves and say, look, we can do this. I heard what Mushi told his team was, look how close one of those games were despite them being the favorites. We can still do this. And that really struck me as being a good leader. And for a game like this, he has to tell his team, wash away whatever emotions you had about the previous ones, everything that would carry it into this game. You got to focus up, because with Fnatic, they have all the talent of the world. You can totally tell this feels more like a mental issue more than play one.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So early bans.
Pretty much the same for Complexity here. The only difference is Fnatic spanning out Tiny in the first round, probably fearing a Wisp combo that Complexity might run. And it's in some ways a little easier to go for the Tiny ban than it is to ban the Wisp.
Yeah. Leading with the Beastmaster, which again opens you up against the Witch Doctor. Once again, feels like this Darkseer pick really just destroys Fnatic as well, just because it keeps punishing their safe lane and it forces DJ into the most awkward position, because he does not want to be that static support sitting there. He wants to create space around the map.
And the coolest part about it is just it allows a draft threat against your opponents, so they're going to grab it again. And now their opponents basically have to say, okay, now we have to worry about these other heroes that combo with Darkseer, where if they just picked an off-lane hero, it wouldn't be as much of a laning stage problem. So now they have to worry about Earth Spirit or hypothetical Ricky or Spirit Breaker, something like that makes a really punishing duel off lane.
Do you actually go for the Earth Spirit here, or do you try and let it go through the second phase so Fnatic start to burn more bans?
I think you have enough room in your draft to, you don't have to take it. Of course, Earth Spirit is still an above average hero, but then you kind of project what you want to do. Whereas I think by not grabbing it, you have a little bit of air of mystery. For example, I remember when they were NIP and Hanskin was a part of that team, they would always first to pick Darkseer plus Spirit Breaker. It's not like they're pigeonholed into grabbing the Earth Spirit early on. The only reason you would do that is because you think Earth Spirit is such an amazing hero and Zfig plays it at a high level. It's like the best reason for it. But I think I completely agree with the Darkseer pick, just because it does more than just what a normal Darkseer does. It changes the way that Fnatic have to approach the draft and how they approach their play more than anything.
That said, of course, it's exactly the same first picks for both teams as the previous game. So are we going to see that again in the second pick?
They're clearly considering whether or not to, like, which way to go with their support rotations.
Yeah, they went Witch Doctor last game.
Yeah.
Do they do the same again, and are Fnatic not just baiting that out to try and counter something?
I mean, maybe they're concerned about how the last game went. They had huge advantage. Their opponents played worse than normal, and they still had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So maybe they play lots of different strategies. They can change it up, no problem. So they're just probably trying to lock down which one they want to solidify, because, maybe a Witch Doctor won't work well with one strat versus the other. So they'll change it up slightly.
They go Lion this time, which they take away from Fnatic, who picked it position 2 last time.
It actually worked really well for Fnatic in the previous game. It was a lot of the reason that they were even able to get kills in the first place.
Kind of funny with someone like Swindles too, because I know he was doing this at Dota Pit, where he actually really takes a lot of emotion when it comes to picking heroes really quickly, and he hates delaying the pick. He doesn't want his opponent to ever think that he is uncertain about where he wants to go.
No, he's worried about it affecting their morale.
Yeah, it's not even the morale of the team. It's actually giving the opponents confidence, and he also likes to throw them off balance. Doesn't want to give them time to think about what they can pick and counter or anything like that. They like to just snap picks, so you got very little time to respond.
We're dynamic within their team, because the rest of their players are so low key. And you never hear anything from them, really. The Swedes.
You're talking about all Swedes or just them?
Yeah, so it's like you take ours, we'll take yours. So it's a complete switch actually on that second pick.
That Witch Doctor pick's really nice though. It worked wonders against Fnatic's lineup in the last one. You kind of want to pair though, just so you can kill the DS in the lane. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, Witch Doctor solo can't really zone Darkseer super well. His damage is too weak, relatively. He can zone okay, but...
Yeah. It does do... The one thing that this Witch Doctor pick does really well though, and I think why Complexity hesitated for a bit was they were wondering whether they should take it themselves. Because when you pick a Darkseer in a situation like this, there's a high chance that you're going to dual lane with it, and Witch Doctor wrecks dual lanes. You run 2 heroes at him, you just get coconutted 4 times in a row. Can't really do much. You don't continue the chase after that point.
Are we expecting Complexity to run a jungler, even when the Darkseer is in the pool? Like, because obviously it's like his catch-up thing if he has to go like solo offlane.
I don't think Darkseer should. In most scenarios, though, the reason why you pick Darkseer is so he doesn't go to the jungle. If you send Darkseer to the jungle, you're in a really good position just because he wants to pressure the lane. That's part of the reason why you picked a hero.
Yeah, Complexity did do that earlier today with Darkseer. He jungled pretty fast, but they also put Bounty Hunter to hide in the side trees while they did that, so he was actually catching experience while the Darkseer jungled, and Swindle still got just as farmed about as he would have if he went offlane. So they made it work that game. He got fairly fast 6 on Bounty compared to normal. Seemed alright, but that's maybe the only case that they would do that, where they could still catch the experience. So definitely some kind of other dual support, and they ban a lot of good heroes that combo with Darkseer. Night Stalker and Earth Spirit now out.
The run of you heroes. So what do you take then? Spirit Breaker's pretty good. Like we talked about, pairs well with the Darkseer. Closer. Creates chaos.
10 seconds remaining.
Pretty good. It would give him really good lockdown with Line and Spirit Breaker.
5 seconds remaining.
It's my favorite term now. Shout out to Eternal Envy.
Which one?
Creating chaos.
Wow. God, I love Eternal. Or, I almost said it. God, I love Eternal. I was gonna say Elder Titan. Eternal Envy's pretty cool. I wouldn't say I love him, but Elder Titan, I really like Elder Titan right now. Really synergistic with his aura, lowers magic resistance and armor, so it makes it easier to burst people down.
It's actually one of the few sleeps as well the Darkseer can combo with.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, because
Because,
does it take too low to threshold wake him up or something? Is that
No,
what you're
I
gonna
don't
say?
think so.
Oh, sorry, that's where you're
I'm just thinking like, because like obviously Naga can put people to sleep when the Darkseer vacs them all in, but ET's almost
Okay.
like a I don't know if he's like, if you always look at him like a follow up, or if
Okay.
his stomp is actually a setup for the Darkseer
You
as
can
well.
do both. I mean, I would actually say the bigger value is vacuuming people into his ulti would be better
Yep.
than setting up, because the stomp is a pretty big AoE. It's been buffed over time. You can easily cast Spirit and stomp on a lot of characters, but if you vacuum people onto his ult, you're talking that's a slow
Well,
through
you
BKB.
actually
and
think about the control
tons of
time.
damage.
Like, so if you actually hit the stomp, then into a vac, and then into the ultimate, you've almost got like a guaranteed hit
Yeah.
every single time.
But a lot of the times when you ulti, everybody will spread across the crack in the ground, and then they're usually too spread out to vacuum them all. So I would say something like that. You could always vacuum in stomp followed by ult or something like that. There's
Mid-mix?
definitely a lot of potential. Okay. Nyx will be good at setting up kills, mana burn against Darkseer as well.
Really good against DS.
Yeah, really good against Elder Titan as well. He can't easily defend himself. Like, if he tries to stomp, for example, Nyx could just reflect the stun.
If he throws
with,
out the Spirit too,
Carapace. Yeah, same thing.
you can own him in the middle of it every single time.
Reserve time.
And you can also spike Carapace's ultimate, I bet.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen, because there's usually a lot of damage flying around, but that would be a huge way to reflect damage to Elder Titan.
Cool pick. I do like it a lot.
I feel like it works well on the dual lane, though. Elder Titan has weak disable, level 1, level 2, but he's got good chase and right click. Kind of works.
I think Nyx will be.
I mean, Elder Titan Darkseer is the dual off lane.
It's alright. There are better combos. The one downside is they can't really utilize the Iron Shell as well, much as you
Yeah.
want.
Maybe level 2 they can. Even a 2-second sleep is pretty good, and just a combo. What other team was drafting this? You told
But if
me
you,
about
as soon as you get close with Darkseer, then you break the sleep anyways.
Yeah, and then you'd have 2 Iron Shells, hypothetically, would be kind of good. Who's doing this more on Elder Titan? You said it was Shazam, I believe?
Yeah, Shazam runs it.
regionals.
It's a really easy way to set up the ultra long range arrow. You just scout ahead with the Spirit, set up the stomp, and just shoot the arrow. The downside is Beastmaster has a lot of minions that can
Yeah.
block it if you micro properly.
And Spectre with this now means that the ganks of Fnatic get even better, especially with Nyx Assassin. Set up kills, haunt. Heroes like Elder Titan are actually going to have a really hard time with this. I think this is one case where I wouldn't want to play support Elder Titan. There's too many heroes that combo gank you.
He's good against pretty much all the heroes of Fnatic, or of Complexity, barring the kind of the Lion, because Lion of course has the mana drain. You can just kill the illusions instantly, but even then,
I really like Elder Titan Mirana, not just for the arrow setup though, just because if you go Ags on her, she does tons of magic damage, and having the Spirit inside that kind of a nuke means you're amping it by so much. It's going to be a ridiculous amount. It's like enough where she's going to scale much better into the 40-minute mark than she normally does, where she usually peaks off and has to go defensive items. But with Elder Titan's aura, like, she's going to scale so well into mid-game. Like, everything's going to die when she double Starstorms. That aura is down. Unless they have a pipe, that's like the only way to keep all their creeps and stuff alive. So last bans here for each team. Complexity banning out Dragonite here. Yeah, they definitely need a tanky upfront hero.
Yeah, I think the one issue that Fnatic had in their last draft was they just didn't have enough space creators. They had a lot of heroes that had to eat space. Tinker obviously eats up a lot of the map. Same with Anti-Mage, you have to split a lot, which kind of left Ohio in a position where it's like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do with my time?
They would have had to get ganks, but the ganks were difficult, and the other hero was also a gank hero, which was Tusk, right? So
everybody, they just started 5-manning, and the effectiveness of that when you're an underfarmed Beastmaster becomes pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, remains to be seen whether that's going to be a mid-Nyx assassin. That's something that they pulled off in Frankfurt quite often to create space for Mushi.
Reserve time.
Or Shanghai, I mean.
Sort of like it. They'd be able to be more mobile early. Nyx will hit 6 about the same time as Spec. There's quite a few squishy heroes on Complexity. At least Mirana Elder Titan line will be definitely gankable for a good 15 minutes or so.
They're in a position though where they have a single core spec, which sort of sucks.
Yeah, okay, so we'll be supporting Nyx. I'm not super sold on that, but I guess against Darkseer it's okay.
I think the main argument for this is just because you don't want to be put in a position where you're all in on the Spectre Swarm. Because if the Nyx Assassin can't create space, then it's pretty much spec or bust, and maybe he doesn't have enough damage to just solo win the game. Because that's a really all-in strat for your last game, potentially anyways.
Seconds remaining.
I am not a huge fan of the Wind Ranger here. I think it's pretty good, but it's not like...
Reserve time.
Like, he's still gonna die to nukes consistently, with Elder Tynora especially. Like, if he just gets fingered and double Starstormed with Elder Tynora, he'll just die anyways. So he's gonna have to get a really fast BKB this game.
Okay, so the Sven is the last one locked in. Very quickly, gents, what do we make of the draft then, Toby? Where does the advantage lay?
Where's the advantage? Like, oh, I get to start this one off this
You
time,
do.
do I? I just love the strength that actually comes out of the Complexity lineup. Like, their survivability looks really good. Like, they're bound the DK at the last moment. I thought, okay, yeah, they understand, like, they've got the advantage. We've seen the effects of ET. Then they've got a lot of kill power and can just tank through most of what Fnatic will throw at them.
Okay,
So,
let's...
I'm with Complexity.
I'm with Fnatic.
Are
Wait,
you
no.
sure? You don't want to change your mind here?
I'm opening the
Hold on.
draft right now.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the draft in my... Oh.
Okay, here we go. I got the draft.
No, I'm definitely with Cole. Yeah, we're definitely with
Okay, good. So you don't want to make the same mistake again.
I think the Sven is really good against that lineup. The Wind Ranger's not going to do a lot of damage to Death. Warcry against Death Ward, they have a lot of different ways to team fight. I think Sven early game is quite good against the Spectre too, because the Spec can't get in and fight against them. I think Complexity, now that I look at it, that looks like a fairly clear outdraft.
Okay, Perch?
Yeah, I was gonna go with Complexity as well, mostly because I really like Elder Titan, but the magic nukes with Elder Titan line, Mirana right there is gonna one-shot any hero on the enemy team once Mirana gets Ags, and then putting Sven on back of that is just even more advantage.
Okay, thank you very much to the gentleman here at the panel. Let's find out whether Complexity are going home or staying here for the second game. If they win this one, they're 2-0 winners and they advance to the lower bracket final for the final place in the Epicenter Top 8. Let's find out as we rejoin our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and indeed it's myself, ODPixel, and of course Gareth, and we're ready to take you through Game 2 of Complexity versus Fnatic. It has all kicked off, so without any further ado, let's get ourselves into the action. And the question is, Gareth, are we going to see Mushi build E-Blade Spectre?
Can we just open up chat and see what 343 and Swindles have been saying to each other for a second? Because they're all like, good luck, have fun, and Swindles like, you know what? Too friendly. Shut up. Bad luck, guys.
Wow.
Let's get on with
Bad luck being shouted.
let's get on with the game, shall we? Well, I'm with Blitz on this one. I think that Sven is going to ramp himself up very quickly through his farm, and it's on Fnatic. The onus is on them to stop him farming Ancients, stop him farming through jungle camps, and really limit how much he does do damage back onto the Spectre. So, early game fighting, like Purge was saying, with ET Stomp into, Finger of Death from Hanskin with the Mirana Arrow as well, all setting up really nicely. There's innate synergy there for Complexity to start things off in team fights. Fnatic have a lot of work to do. They really do have to, I feel, outplay not only laning stage but also during the mid game and team fights.
Okay, what's your personal thoughts here on this Z-Freak Elder Titan? You know, Complexity kind of coming in with something that synergistically, I guess, makes sense with their lineup, but not a hero that we see every day. Obviously, there's certain regions in the qualifiers we start to see Elder Titan kind of play with a little bit more, but now Complexity bringing it into the fray against a lineup like Fnatic's.
When a pick like that comes out during the draft, my immediate reaction, you know, I'm super pessimistic, I'm English, I'm just like, I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure about that one. But as I listen to the panel and I hear, you know, the explanations and thinking about how it's going to work, you look at him right now. The Witch Doctor cannot go and fight him 1 versus 1. He's got too much base damage, he has an Ion Shell on him, and he's got movement speed from that nice little spirit as well. Just look, 343 hides away.
No, he's got to be scared in. It's going to be interesting to see how much Mushi can find from this lane, dealing with the Swindle's Darkseer and the Z-Freak Spirit. Up on the top lane, a lane that we haven't really talked about, but Chessie on his Sven, supported up by Hanskin on the Lion, dealing with this Nyx Assassin offlane that's well, kind of sharing the lane here with a higher for the time being. Of course, Beastmaster looking to take priority farm. But I mean, how do you expect to see Chessie deal in this lane, rather than being on like the Juggernaut that he was against the highest Beastmaster in Game 1?
I think he should do okay. Hanskin is able to, you know, throw a little bit back into the faces of Fnatic. Nyx Assassin has been annoying so far, throwing out a couple of impales. Just trying to give Ohio that initial, you know, couple of levels. Get him up to level 3, get the double boars out, which are a little bit stronger, and then he can maybe battle up against the line. Pulling across like this is really beautiful by him, limiting how much the Sven is going to get. But Chessie might just be that unstoppable force that Fnatic have to try and deal with.
And the question is, so the build now for Sven normally includes an Echo Saber, doesn't it? If you imagine see Chessie being picking
Helm the Dominator into treads, yeah. Echo Saber, a lot of people have been favouring. Really more so than the Standing Asher. It kind of replaces the S and Y because it helps your farming speed, it tanks you up with the Ogre Club, gives you mana regen, which is honestly amazing for Sven. But it's the double hit plus the attack speed you get from that Oblivion Staff that really is the thing you're looking for the Sven, being able to clear through big old ancient camps. EJ?
Right, we do have here just coming through the Stomp Z-Freak, and we'll start to trade a few punches with DJ and the Nyx Assassin, but both of these heroes relatively tanky. So not a lot going to be done here, just walking it off, and DJ coming back in to look to play with the Elder Titan a little bit more, but the pings are there. And well, DJ's going to back himself off, but yeah, the important thing is that still top lane Chessie, 13 for 0. Everyone farming pretty well so far, but slight edge in terms of CS for the side of Fnatic. You got Mushi on 17 for 3.
Very slight.
And the mid lane matchup again. There's a slight edge here for mid one on his Wind Ranger.
Now the mid one's got the level 2 in power shot, though it might be a little easier for him at least to get these last hits in, and shoving the wave against the Mirana, forcing her to use a Star Storm kind of on creeps rather than looking for those aggressive kills. But mid one's taking a lot of damage, you know. Forced back already, the bottle will be incoming out to heal her back up again, but that Astral Spirit looking for the stomp into arrow. Not gonna land it there though.
Not at all, but at the least just causing some issues. And in fact, oh, comes back in.
They got him.
There's your follow through, and Lim walks in with the Starstorm, and hello!
The stick. Oh.
He's done it. And the stun from DJ, well, he was aiming for another server. He's totally with that one. In Complexity, they'll just walk it off, and easy first blood there for the boys.
Well, this is one of the things, right? ET is very rarely, if not never played in competitive the past 6 months or so. So the last time I remember ET was back when you used to see these kind of ET Zeus combinations where you throw Astral and you zap people down with that magic resist reduction from the ET. But now you're not used to playing against it.
No.
And that situation for me, if I'm the Wind Ranger, I'm like, right, he just used his Astral Stomp. So it's not coming for a while. But it came back like 8 seconds later, and you're like, oh crap, I've been caught by this. Really? Is this happening to me? Is it really?
I mean, it's one of those things that it's not going to happen again this game. You know, you learn from your mistakes. Everyone's going to be like, all right, I've got to be a little bit more aware of that kind of combination happening, and got to be careful. But yeah, Complexity, very, very happy with the fact that they can get themselves first blood, and Limp, of course, on this mid lane Mirana, already doing decently in terms of the farming again. They're looking for this kind of just harassment and setup. Look at the positioning here for Z-Freak, and it's ever so close, but nonetheless, really keeping this Wind Ranger on her toes.
Is that arrow going to hit as well? No. Well, I'm trying it though. But this is just taking so much of the pressure off of Swindles. He's hit his level 5.5, he's got Soul Ring. Happy as Larry's down here.
Oh, he really is. This is it's a great opening start for Darkseer, and we can see Mushi at the moment not too phased by the Iron Shell spam. He's still getting the last hits perfectly. So lane-wise for Fnatic is still working out down there, but at the same time, yeah, as you said, Swindles, he's certainly finding as much as he'd hoped for from this off-lane 5 minutes in and top lane, leading him with the stuns onto a higher, but DJ's there to back him up, and One of the things here for Chessie on the Sven is two very tanky heroes. I mean, it's unlikely that the side of Complexity is going to be able to find a kill unless we start to see Fnatic diving towers.
Yeah, they're just trying to trade regen a bit. You know, you see the Mango in the inventory of Chessie, and of course Hans can just pop clarity. But Ohio gets given across the Tango, and really it's a win again for Fnatic in that lane. DJ didn't have to expend any mana, didn't have to get himself in harm's way. And he's getting a fair few levels up on top as well. They've nearly hit level 6 on the Beastmaster. Complexity haven't dominated this early laning stage. Fnatic looking in pretty good stead, farming up the Spectre, but Mushi, what's he going to be doing with that first Haunt? That's what we always really look for, right? Is that initial Haunt, hit 6 on Spectre, look for kills, and it's going to be timed pretty nicely with both Wind Ranger having level 2 Shackle Shot and the Roar from Beastmaster available. You'll at least get a kill on the Lion, if not more.
And looking at mid one as well, on the Wind Ranger, what do you kind of expect this man's item build to be? Is it going to be a flashy kind of early blink? Is he just going to go for the straight axe, get that damage down? Is Maelstrom going to come into the mix kind of after an Aghanims? What do you kind of expect to see him pick up this game?
I'm really not too sure. This is like usually with mid one, it's quite easy to look at the hero he's got and.
Hold on, lane. Look at this man, Z3 trying to style it there, and he's actually going to get away with it. Z3, what a man. What a play. I mean, he had a very impactful game one on his Earth Spirit, and well, we're seeing him work the magic here on the other Titans. Some smart stomp and TPs. That's how you do it.
Usually with mid one, you know, his hero pool hasn't been that diverse recently for Fnatic. It's been like Zeus, Invoker, like I was saying previously, with a bit of TA here and there, a bit of this and that. But Wind Ranger, I don't know, probably just go. Oh, Al Limp, come on now.
Easy CS.
Just want to get the creep. He's got a regen rune, so it literally does not matter at all.
Golden.
But I'm really not sure. Like Blink Dagger could work. We've seen a lot of Maelstrom. You know, Dendi back at Star Ladder and a bit before that, back at Dota Pit. He was pulling out the Maelstrom Wind Ranger again to farm up.
Oh, on top, they're trying to go and commit with this one with the God Strength. With the stun coming out to DJ, pops the Spike Carapace higher with the Raw Axe to find the kill onto Handscan. We're going to see the Sven continue to move forward onto a higher, but now the rotation from mid one gets the Shackle Shot off. Moonlight Shadow is there though, and they don't have detection, so that man will get away. DJ not going to be as lucky though as Limp. Will be able to clean that one off on the sideline. So a 1-for-1 trade there, and forcing both of them is to rotate at the same time. Complexity going in onto 3-4-3, 3-4-3, chopping his way through the jungle, and Z-Freak is going to be sped up. Went up for the full chase down. Doesn't feel that he's got the control of the damage to kill this Witch Doctor, so just globally ending up for a 1-for-1 trade on that top lane.
Complexity really trying to play this one out. I mean, Mushi, he had his Haunt up there, but he didn't have enough mana for it. TV back to base, and I do wonder if that Haunt had come through. Maybe DJ survives, maybe they turn back around onto Limp again. Swindles and Z-Freak continue on this bottom lane, but DJ, he's the lone wolf down here looking for that level 6.
And there's the setup again. Limp jumps into position, arrow to follow through. Spike Carapace coming out, but we'll see with the Haunt if they can try and turn it. Eyeing up Limp. Limp, of course, did aggressively jump in here, so actually Mushi just turns his attention towards Z-Freak. Feels that this is a kill that he's got maybe more chance of getting. There's the backup, the stun, the Maledict. There's no chance for the ET, and indeed Fnatic will be able to pick up something off the back of Mushi's Haunt.
It's a big deal as well. If you don't get, I'm trying to shackle up someone with one, but if you don't get anything out of that Haunt, it's a Haunt waster. You know, it gets him to lane, but you want to be getting kills. You want to be racking up these earn charges on Mushi as much as you possibly can, because Spectre is the hero that really is the hope for Fnatic progressing themselves through not just this game, but this series and this tournament. It's Complexity, one game away.
Yeah, they've got the lockdown here on top. The Hex into the stun, actually stacking them there. A little bit of a misplay, but not messing. Finger will be popped by Anskin to secure the kill there. They could have potentially got that without the finger if they didn't stack those stuns. So a little bit of a miscommunication there from Complexity, but nonetheless get the job done.
Speaking of stacking, they've got one medium camp stacked up for the Sven, it looks like, but Swindles has been going through this jungle and taking out all the camps himself. So Chessie's just been farming lane for now. He's got his Morbid Mask up at last. Helm of the Dominator not too far away, of course. That mech on Swindles, 350 off it, and he will take the stack. So Sven, screw you, mate. Not getting any of this gold.
I mean, I guess you say prioritising the mech. It's going to mean what? Swindles can kind of join the fights with Sven. Look for the combo in top lane. Yeah, just going to have TPs coming in. We'll see if Ohio Mid will want to try and go for some sort of a play.
Refill the bottle as well.
Yeah, they've got the roar up.
See, Ohio, they know that his Beastmaster in the previous game didn't get off to a good start. The Necro timing was definitely off as well. So having DJ for the first 5-6 minutes, get him up and running, he's going to have that Necro book very soon.
Swindle's trying to surge and chase down this Hawk. Going to be able to make it. Smash himself is hanging around, but at the spawn lane as well, it's nice for Z-Freak. They've started to give him a little bit of space to get some of the levels here for Complexity. And Limp, mid lane, need to be careful. Mid one has come back in, and Limp, a bit of a vulnerable position where he's very, very close to having that Midas done. Just 200 gold away, so he wants to be very, very careful against this combo of Fnatic hanging around the mid lane.
Attempted. Mid one, he wants it. And DJ, he's hit into that level 6, so Vendetta's ready. And pings are coming out saying, let's go and kill Chessie off. He is getting a little bit out of hand up here on the Sven. 3,600 net worth. He's at that point now where he's kind of middling net worth. You know, it's not looking amazing. He's got decent laning phase farm. But this is where he starts to get into, you know, third gear. This is where he starts to say, okay, stack up caps for me, lads. I'm going to go and get myself into the Echo Saber, build up into my Blink and my BKB. Fnatic do have to be very wary of his movements, but they're also having to be wary of where Limp is going.
Bottom lane, DJ, as you said, looking for the gank with the Vendetta, captures out Z-Freak, they'll follow through with the dagger, the stun as well, the control is out, and the power shot to seal the deal. Mid one, that expert rotation along with DJ, securing some action down here on the bottom lane for the side.
So Limp with the Hand of Midas, we've seen a lot of like phase boots into Aghanim's straight builds on Mirana's recently. Hand of Midas is going to give him a lot more actual emphasis on being, you know, more of a carry player. Okay.
Oh, it goes for the Raw, the 2 TPs there. No, you don't. No, you don't. One of them will be cancelled, but Hansken follows through. As the A comes up top to back up that Sven, and does have the finger back available as well, so may even be able to find some action. Bottom lane, arrow comes through. Look at the CS on the siege creep, but he was hoping for mid one.
Every lane.
He should get back.
Every lane. And Ohio there, you know, the plan is pretty simple. You've got Death Ward behind you with the Witch Doctor, you've got Haunt over to the other side of the map from the Spectre, so you've got the ability to make kill off that Sven if you do catch him with his pants down and the rest of complexity trying to deal with bottom lane. Avoiding the vision coming out, you know, they see everything that's happening down on bottom.
Oh, Swindles, he's been sentry. He's right on the tip for the shackle. Yeah, he's not got any chance here, lying down the depth. Well, oh, maybe with the men, the stop as well. Z-Freak, the savior is here, and Swindles looking to set himself out, won't quite make it. The ult coming through from the other side. We'll see if they can find anything in return. Mid one going for the TP out. He will make it. The arrow just off point. Is it going to catch Mushi out here? The Swindles will lose his life, but complexity very, very nearly being able to turn that one around with some big plays.
So close. The mech, the stick charges, and Z-Freak very nearly getting his brother out of dodge, but DJ, you're going to cancel TP? You're going to cancel TP?
Hansken, yeah, he's dead.
And there's the strength of the early Necro 1. You just go straight in onto the line, no problems whatsoever. And Limp wanted to try and get in to save him. DJ with the sneaky TP cancel. Hiding Invis just behind him.
Yeah, and as the Bills were just looking at as well, another Haunt kill for Mushi. Managed to make as much use as he can of the spells, just getting himself involved with the assist.
Mid one has what looks like the beginnings of an Orchid.
Okay.
So he's going to go into that silence, and I guess against Darkseer, against the Mirana, it's pretty good. Solo kills against Lion, impeccable start to that one. Against this Sven though, we'll see exactly how he works out. It's a very glass cannon build.
And it's really probably one of the least popular builds that we see at the moment. It's normally your Blink Dragonims and Chop is draining onto mid one here. Mid one, he's going to be able to get the win run off, but there's a lot of heroes. We're getting ready to pound down on Jesse, and indeed with the Death Ward, Jesse taken down here.
The Centaur was meant to be his savior. ET was there as well, but the cask just bounced between the two of them. Sven, deep in no man's land there. Limp could get out here as well, but a good leap up onto high ground will get himself back to safety.
Got a nice ancient stack as well here at the moment. That's a triple stack.
That's the big thing. It's difficult for Fnatic to actually contest this. You know, they can ward it up.
Yeah, they've not really got any way of clearing it.
The biggest thing is to have vision of it, knowing when Sven is doing it. That's why 343 comes, places the observer ward, and then you don't contest the ancient stack itself to try and steal it. You contest it to kill. Yeah. You contest it to kill complexity, stop Sven from farming it, and getting himself that nice boost in net worth.
And we have eyes on the mid lane at the moment. Limp continuing to work towards that. Aghanim's on top of the Midas. And we can see drawn on the map, just area of suspicion is DJ. He's headed up here. No Vendetta for 25 seconds, but already quite an aggressive maneuver here from Swindles. Punching on the tower, the wraparound be there, TP's coming through as well. He'll surge himself, and the Spike Carapace is holding in place, followed through by Shackles. Oh, Swindles is gone. Running Shadows are going to save the boy. Hansken coming around with a very aggressive finger. He's going to pay off his life though, as mid one picks up another one on the Wind Ranger. So, I mean, a little bit messy there for complexity. They do commit to, they find the Beastmaster. Not a cleanup that's going to keep mid one on his Wind Ranger at the top of the net worth board.
Satyr Vanisher. It's been stacking ancient camps there. He tried to purge the illusion, but you can't do that. You can't remove it. But all of that fighting on the top lane, you lose your DS, your Lion, Chessie. This ancient stack, you know, it was decent. It was a 3-stack, something along those lines. Gets him closer to that Echo Saber, or maybe Blink Rush is what he aims for, because there's been a lot of early fighting here. He might want to go still for that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I guess think these could have proved pretty nice for the man. There's already a point in natural order as well, so already if you can lay down that spirit on top of the Sven jumping in, indeed the swipes are going to hurt a hell of a lot more.
Because you know that the Wind Ranger, like I said, is going for that glass cannon build. Yeah. Orchid is nearly done, but 1100 HP here for mid one. He's level 11 with the 2 points in focus fire. He does a lot of damage to people. He's got the silence, but actually withstanding the firepower of complexity, if they can chain their stuns well enough with a Lion, Sven, and Mirana Arrow onto this Wind Ranger, it could be hell to pay for her. But Mushi's still farming himself away with the Yasha already up.
Look at this as well, looking for mid one, trying to set this up with Z-Freak Spirit, but mid one a little bit too speedy by the looks of it. Now try and get in position, goes for the stomp, but nah, it's just off point and mid one's going to be fine. Step bottom lane, a bit of aggression onto Swindles as he backs himself up. But 8 for 4 at the moment, Fnatic. Leading kills, the slightly individual net worth as well, but it's still very, very early days. It's only 1.5k, so still anyone's game at this point. But I guess the scary thing is really that Mushi is getting quite a lot of space, a lot of farm on the Spectre, and they've decided complexity yet to be able to do anything about this man.
That's the thing, right? Because Sven, we've already seen him operate, especially in the previous patch, that he gets to 15 minutes or so, and then from that even point where he's sitting at, 7k net worth, 8k net worth, he jumps 5k ahead of his counterpart. Yeah. He jumps himself to 15k, up to 20k by 25 minutes. And that's where Sven's strength really lies, is that greater cleave, being able to actually get himself up into the bigger items faster. But if he's forced to fight here, and the Spectre is left alone, or at least the Spectre is allowed to fight, there's a lot more potential for the Spectre taking it into the late game with the Radiance build.
Oh, and Jesse caught out in with the horn. Mushi looking to punish and he'll get it. Moonlight Shadow up, but I don't know if they can try and find anything without the Sven. And this is kind of crucial pickoff after crucial pickoff for the side of Fnatic, and Mushi, he's always getting himself involved.
Given so much to Ohio, he's got Necro 3s done now.
This is a much cleaner game here for the man. We really did see that, as you said in game one, he was struggling on that Beastmaster, but Fnatic, they seem to have managed to resolve that issue here in game 2, and just as a whole are playing a much cleaner and better game of Dota.
Yeah, it's been stunning the way they've actually controlled complexity from laning phase through to kind of mid game now, where we're standing, where tier 1s are still up, mid and top. Complexity, okay, they don't have any natural building destroying heroes apart from Sven with the God Strength, but he's been so focused on farming. But Limp with his Midas boot to track, he's pretending to be Malini right now, but he needs some damage output, he needs some stats. This Mirana, sure enough, level 4 Starstorm, it's good magic damage. But having this kind of build in this kind of game where everyone's fighting and brawling and having these skirmishes around the map, you're 2-0-1, you've not died yet, but also maybe you've not had as much impact as these Aghanims builds would have given you.
And we're seeing as well, I mean, DJ, he has now got that Blink Dagger on the next assassin, so he's going to be lost here. Mid lane indeed, coming in on the mid one. He did get it off, but the stun control is there. A couple more swipes and the Wind Ranger will be gone. They'll find themselves one. Now looking to move forward for more here, complexity. See what they can find. DJ on the sidelines, vendetted up, just spotting out the background's complexity. Indeed, this cast just holding them back. I don't think he's down on them as one. DJ on the high ground, being popped by coL, but I don't know if the side of Fnatic can really look to try and get themselves back in, and in fact, coL, they're trying to look for more. Trying to catch out higher. They'll duke it out, 3-4-3 again with the cast, now with the death ward onto Swindles, but this man with the mech, fairly tanky, will be able to surge himself away. He tried for this, he's going to eye out Swindles, just does go in with the combo, but they're just going to turn around and punish it. Straight away, complexity reacting to this Nyx assassin, trying to find some action, but the finger from Hansken finishes him off. Again with the Echo Stomp, setting up more Ohio, to pop the roll, the arm comes flying through, he won't clip on, but it doesn't matter, they'll still kill Ohio. Limp dying to Necro units, they've got to kill him, Oh, they won't be able to. They will lose them there. Oh, Hansken, not Hansken as well, they're going to do it again! I thought they nerfed those. And they just destroy them here with this shackle onto the bot. They're going to find themselves another Fnatic cleaning up there, and a large part of it down to the fact that Necro 3 pretty good.
Dear Lord. That all started out with a beautiful start from complexity, finding pick off, get a kill, kill one, find another one, move on forward. You know what the biggest thing is? Spectre didn't even use hold there. Spectre's sitting on 3,700 gold. That relic is pretty much ready for Mushi. Meanwhile, Complexity, like losing the Sven towards the Ancients a couple of times in a row, it's bad. It really is bad, but it's not an insurmountable amount of bad. You can come back from that. You can say, right, we'll keep on farming, maybe we'll fight a little bit more with a blink on Sven, we can push forward and battle this one out. But losing him there in teamfight with your Mirana, it's dangerous territory now. They've given a blink across to this Nyx Assassin. DJ's level 11. Witch Doctor, he's happy. He's 203. 343 hasn't died yet this game.
Yeah, he's having a really, really nice game here indeed. It's certainly looking to be Complexity on the back foot as opposed to in game one where it was just a bit of a mess all over for Fnatic, but Complexity were able to pull through with the cleaner game. But here, Fnatic certainly showing their stars a little bit more, and Complexity they need an answer. Can see already on the top lane, Chessie coming up with Z-Freak. Maybe they can try and set something up here onto mid one and DJ, but at the same time, they'll probably play it safe. There's going to be a Haunt from Mushi, and now with Deathward, the Deathward as well, they'll find themselves a kill. Pick off the Swindle Melons on his Darkseer. Guardian Greaves or not, they don't care. The damage is more than there. And again, just every time this Haunt is up, always finding the action. And Mushi now just a few hundred gold away from having that completed Radiance.
They're hunting at top as well, but mid one, this is slippery slope.
There's a fair few Complexity around. We'll see if DJ wants to lead in on someone.
DJ's scouting them all out though, and with the Moonlight Shadow, they know exactly what's up. Fnatic will just retreat out. 343 back behind tier 1.
He's TP back to base as well. He's not messing. He is not messing around here.
That's kind of Complexity's roll of the dice, you know? We're in our jungle, we finished farming, clear out the camps. Right, let's go kill someone. Let's actually consolidate the past 30 seconds, minute or so that we've spent Swindles dying a bottom lane, and the rest of us will try and find the Wind Ranger, try and get something. And then you go into the tier 1 and it kind of snowballs from that one move, right? Complexity go from farming to ganking to destroying towers. 1 fails, 2 and 3 don't exist. They don't follow through because the dominoes just don't topple.
And they really do need to find something of Complexity. It started to slow down the pace of the game for them. Chessie able to nab himself some Ancients here from the opponents. And maybe eyes on to 343. He's coming fairly far out, but Radiance now done on Mushi. He has got the Haunt. Still on cooldown for 45 seconds.
But this is pre-BKB on Sven, no BKB on Mirana. Very few ways to actually deal with it, so Complexity heavily reliant on magical nuke damage now with the help of Elder Titan. Kill him off, and maybe, you know, maybe the Wall of Replica can create one of those little spectral illusions and burn back with the Radiance onto Fnatic.
You gotta hope so.
Korea, hello? Thank you very much. Now, what was on it? Blink Dagger for Ohio.
Oh. Now that's a bit of a painful loss. I mean, because this, we were saying Ohio was having a much better game. 23-minute Blink Necro free would have been fantastic. Now it's not going to be there for a few minutes. But Ohio still managed to lead in with the Roar. DJ's there with a follow-up stun, but the back in the walls drop, trying to hold back Fnatic. They'll look for the Deathward to finish off Z3, but it's not enough damage here. Chessie, Warcrying up, jumping in, straight with the Storm Amp, the God Strength. 1, 2, give it a few, 1 more will do it. 343 is down. Mushi with the Haunt in, trying to turn it, looking to focus onto Handscan, and they will chase him down with a power shot as well. They'll find it. In fact, it's a double kill as they've already found Mirana. Ohio, he's being chased around by Swindles and Chessie. The Storm Hammer will finish him off, but now Chessie, he's going to get punished. Focus fire from mid one, biting through the armor. Shackle onto Swindles. They'll find themselves a 4th ultra kill for Mushi. And I don't know. I know Spectre over the past few patches or so, she's started to be touched down in terms of nerfs, but if you let a Spectre get to this point of the game, 24 minutes in, she's 508, 1800 gold on top of Yasha, FaZe, Radiance. You're in quite a lot of trouble.
She got the Radiance a minute and a half ago.
Yeah.
2,000 gold in 1 minute and a half. Pretty good, I think. That GPM is through the roof, you know? Oh, man.
This is looking very scary for Complexity.
They still have... Like, the thing is, Complexity are, in my opinion, like, never out of this game because they have this Elder Titan. He's kind of that fail-safe hero. We can always catch someone. We can always do something. And their high ground defense is honestly excellent between the Darkseer and himself. They can also go for pickoffs with the Moonlight Shadow. They just have to be very worried about when Fnatic pick up a gem. I'm just quickly checking through them all. If this Nyx Assassin gets a gem up on him, and a lot of Complexity's actual firepower or the ability to come back into this game does get diminished.
That's going to be gone.
Mid one, is that going to be a BKB up on him? Wind Ranger doesn't need to tank up and deal with the stuns and disables coming out. You've got damage from the Orchid. BKB probably the best option. You don't need a blink with the amount of mobility you've got between Beastmaster and Nyx. As well as the Haunt in from Spectre. coL, farm Ancients again. Try and get this Sven online, and he's going back into the Echo Saber. He knows he needs this kind of incremental slow build up to an item.
Look at this top as well, DJ. He's got eyes onto Lim.
Dyer's
Born
bottom tower
is on in 18 seconds, but DJ, he can't really do this on his own. He does need backup. He'll give it a good attempt, trying to hope for the Starstorm to hit onto the carapace, but it wasn't the case. Lim gets himself a leap away. So we'll get himself out of that. But yeah, Echo Saber now done on the Sven. So Chessie gonna be able to have that kind of big initiation.
Soska, is that you?
Stun the boar. At this point, as you said, they do need a lot more farm on this Sven, really, to just deal with the speed.
He's behind the
Lucius
Spectre,
grinding.
like
Yeah,
by about 3,000.
Yeah.
Even the Wind Ranger's ahead of him, and what's it going to be? Black King Bar recipe for mid one. He's aiming towards that magic immunity.
He's nearly got it done as well. Nearly got it done, the whole thing. So
There's a big difference though between game 1 and game 2.
it
for
really,
Swindles.
I don't
For
know what was
Swindles.
happening in game 1. For Fnatic as well, this was just game 1 was just an absolute shambles, and
Worlds
game 2.
apart.
I don't know, this is really good play, really strong play and complexity. They are falling behind, there's no doubt about it.
But it's like laning phase went well for complexity this game. You're thinking, right, the bottom lane they've bullied out the Spectre a little bit. You know, she's still farming decently, but Witch Doctor's been forced out of this one. Wind Ranger mid against the Mirana. It's kind of even in terms of CS until Wind Ranger got a little bit of a leg up on her. But I think it all comes down to Ohio. This guy helped out by Chrissy. The fast necro, but the fact that they actually stopped Sven from farming. You know, he was 1.5 creep waves behind the Spectre by 6-7 minutes. So he was a good 200-300 gold behind the Spectre by that period. And it's just forced complexity to always be on the back foot, always looking for that edge they can get over Fnatic, but just never come to them. Maybe this Moonlight Shadow will.
But they're gonna hope so. They're hoping for these.
Oh, this could be big, this could be big! Oh, they did it! They won 4 of them!
Complexity with the wombo combo.
Say good night!
That was beautiful. The Storm Hammer coming out just before the vacuum surge, connected as they are brought together. That is exactly what they needed, Gareth.
Dear Lord.
That is what they needed.
Goosebumps,
And
Owen?
they're back in it.
Goosebumps?
They are back in it.
Christ.
Dyer's top tower.
What now, though?
That-
Complexity, what do you want to do now? The map has been given to them on a silver platter, tier 2, Roshan, just do whatever the hell you want.
That was exactly the dream for complexity.
And that's why I say complexity are never out of this game. The fact they've got that ET into vacuum, whether it be high ground defense, whether it be 5v5 team fight, without BKBs up on the Wind Ranger or anyone else with Fnatic, it's always dangerous territory walking in. And also, there's still no gem for Fnatic. Still no gem or reveal to see that Moonlight Shadow coming in.
that arrow though. Come on, Lim. It's just stationary target. Just misrush. But it's fine. It's fine. They're going to still go for this one. Fnatic are coming round. Looks like they want to fight. They know that obviously Wall is only down still for 25 seconds. It's going to be pretty much back up for the next fight. Arrow coming through. DJ dukes it out. But yeah, they need to be careful. They need to be careful now, because complexity, if they get another fight like that, I mean, we can check on the net worth graph. We can see it was only a 5k lead, but suddenly, bam, straight back down. Close mark. I mean, they need another fight where Mushi kind of cleans up. Otherwise, complexity, as we've seen, they can find these objectives very quickly, and they do have this insane wombo combo.
Where's Limp going now? Into BKB. Got his Zerga Club up. Oh, Mushi TP's up the top, so they're going to do the whole, group up as 4, push into somewhere, try and farm your own jungle, and have the Spectre Haunt back in, but Limp is already one step ahead. He's there, ready, shoving this wave in. And Mushi can't really deal with that. He's actually sprinting himself back to base on full HP. Needs to regen that mana and knows he needs to haunt himself into battle with 343 running forward.
See what they can find. The Roar onto Z-Freak, Necro unit South Sentry as well, and with the Haunt, they're ready to go. The Vacuum will be down to 2. They've taken down Z-Freak already done. Mushi, now he's going to try and move in for the cleanup. The Sven's getting incredibly low, but indeed on the back line, trying to do his best, but they take him down. The Death Ward pummels in. Fnatic find themselves a second. This time, complexity, no answers for that one, and Hansken sits in the tree. Airline and dies to an end. Bird one down, and Fnatic just reassert the dominance. They say, well, you may have the wombo combo, but we can still very strongly take a team fight where they come in from all different directions. It's impossible for complexity to get the lockdown on multiple heroes, and suddenly Fnatic knocking at your doors. Fortification pop. We'll see what they can do in terms of holding complexity. Swindles, vacuum. But again, needing that Sven ready for the huge wombo combo follow-up, or at least the Elder Titan. But Z-Freak himself still on the sidelines. Fnatic, they'll find the tier 3 and moving in for more. There's a buyback available on Sven, but He's really not going to want to use it. 20 seconds, but the cost of it may lose this full set of racks here. Melee racks at least are gone.
They'll back out now.
Yeah, they've just got to let that one go, Complexity. So now dealing with a situation of being a melee racks down. After that bit of an advance from Fnatic, as they just take a clean fight. They get themselves the push on, and Mushi now on 3.8k gold on top of that Radiance.
I mean, that fight was good from Fnatic, but it was also a little bit sloppy from Complexity. Elder Titan up on the front lines when he needs to be the one counter-initiating with the Darkseer, with the Spirit into Stomp Vacuum combo. Complexity, their Sven, his Blink got cancelled out by that Radiance burn from Mushi, and there's just no way in. Got kited and countered out by the Nyx Assassin alone. Pre-BKB on Sven, the Nyx just follows the Sven, carapace up, stun him, and stop Chessie from actually maneuvering himself through the team fight. Really couldn't go anywhere, and they just dropped the Death Ward on his head. There was nowhere to go.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how much armor you've got when it's kind of hitting you for as long as 343 was able to get it down into him for. So we can see at the moment a lot of attention around the Roche pit still. Complexity and Fnatic would both love to get their hands on it. And of course, as we've seen, they've both got pretty good team fight around these enclosed areas. It's all going to be about who can get the jump onto who. I mean, it'll be quite a miracle if we see Complexity get another jump like they did before. They're going to try for that. Moonlight Shadow.
Did you see the line drawn though? Fnatic know this is coming.
Yeah.
I did draw it the other way around though. They thought they were going to wrap around into this way.
So if Complexity managed to get the full kind of convergence round into the lane, they could still find something big with this one. We'll see if they're able to get themselves over in time. Arrow popping out to scout. And
Mushi has Haunt, remember?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Mushi, you may as well.
Oh, whose scan is that?
Pops it. That was Complexity scan. They're coming under it and it's not sent off, so that was coL scanning for that. Just to see if anyone was near. Oh, here we go.
They see the Starstorm.
Let's see. Now, the question is, do they try and run into this one? Arrow coming through, but they'll be jumping from a higher, looking for the Roar. Won't find it now with the Horn. They're going to try and fight this one. There's a shackle shot onto Chessie. Death Ward is one of the bones gone. They've eliminated a huge damage output from the side of Complexity. Now we'll try and move in for more. Eyes onto Swindles. He'll pop the freeze. Gets the vacuum off, but there's no follow through. The Roar onto Zealots here. They'll find themselves a second or third as well. Anskin does manage to get himself out with the TP. But again, these Horns, this lockdown from Fnatic, they're finding the Sven, the Chessie every time and taking him out. And without the Sven, there's just no one, but there's no combo. There's a vacuum, but what are you doing off the back of it? You might find a stun, but you need to have the Sven. You need to have Chessie chopping away, otherwise you're not winning these fights.
Complexity is so focused on having that big wombo combo. Their entire game plan is vacuum 5 into 5-man Echo Stomp into 5-man cleave from Sven. But the trouble is Fnatic, they're running them ragged. They're pulling them from one end of the fight to the other. Chessie is in the northeast, being actually zoned out by the Witch Doctor and the Spectre alone. Ohio jumps into the middle of 4 of them. The Beastmaster alone jumps into the middle of 4 and says, deal with me. You know what? Just deal with me. Nyx Assassin was arrowed, Witch Doctor's off doing, God knows what, while mid one's battling the Sven. There's no way for Complexity to actually land any of their big AoE abilities in an AoE onto enemy targets.
And the scary thing is, I mean, mid one, with this just Orchid and just BKB, he's been doing a lot, but he's got the Aghanims done now as well, and suddenly, you know, he's absolutely going to tear some of these heroes apart once he gets a lockdown. Some of them, any of the heroes down. If he gets himself in a shackle shot and Orchid, focus fire for a few seconds and that hero's dying. It's going to be very scary for the side of Complexity. They have been lighted up again, Limp. See what he spots out. You can see DJ actually just scouting out the action here with Vendetta coming around on the top. But 23-13 still. The edge here to the side of Fnatic. We didn't see if you just look at the network graph, that hiccup where they managed to get that wombo, but back on track now for Fnatic as they managed to get themselves up to about a 10k gold lead at this point of the game, which by no means is the biggest, but is still a lead that they're comfortable with and that they have been slowly gaining over time.
And they've got Aegis for a while as well, so they could even look for a tier 3 if they wanted to. Now, that's always the biggest fear, is walking high ground against ET Darkseer.
And with this Ember's Ring as well, this could be huge. Right, let's see, it's going to be Handskin tanking it. They'll pop the Roar even for that one as well.
I mean,
don't know if that was necessarily necessary.
Hello, Handskin, just taken out of the game. It's a lot of...
But no mess in here from the boys on Fnatic.
A lot of commitment, though.
This is, of course, it is just a very crucial game. You know, if they lose this game, they're going home. This, you've got to give it your all here. Got to try and take it to a game 3 if you're Fnatic.
They're building so much mobility here from Fnatic to try and deal with this AoE from Complexity. Force Staff, Witch Doctor, Blink Force, Nyx. Beastmaster, of course, has had that Blink for a while now, but there's the Aegis going to use just up on the front lines, mid one, focus fire on the tier 3. Again, Complexity. Pressure is on them to try and deal with this, and with that arrow actually just threading the needle there past 3-4-3, they won't catch anyone.
Got to really set eyes onto Swindles here. See if he gets the lead in. Oh, see if they jump in. BKB actually pop by Limp on the sidelines here. Maybe a little bit prematurely. He's trying to fend these boys off. And we'll be able to do so, but mid one, maybe even wanting to look to come back in. He's got DJ there. There'll be the blink forward, eyeing up Limp. And this kid jumping back into it. Oh, okay, 2-man this time. They managed to clean out the Nixon in mid one with the BKB turning around. Focusing Jesse with a focus fire, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough damage with the grease. The wall fry. He's going to be able to walk it off. That all coming through Z3. Going to will chop down on the Witch Doctor. Mushi now.
He's got a second
horn. With the
horn.
horn. He's got to be careful.
He's got a refresher. He's got a second horn.
Oh, but if they can stun lock this man, it's a beautiful stun off the back of that. The finger as well from Hanskin. Absolutely huge. Mushi's gone. Starstorm as well. They're looking to clean this one up. Complexity. They'll chase down Limp to the south. Chase on the higher. They'll find mid one as well with a stapler to the face from Z3. And now, looking for a full team wipe, Aegis or not, they should be able to do it. They've got the control, they'll bring him down. And Fnatic in an absolute shambles, getting destroyed there. Refresher was popped by Spectre, but we saw the control was just more than enough, but Mushi could not get off that second horn.
They got the gem back as well, so now Moonlight Shadow gets even more added value for Complexity. Got the melee racks though, Fnatic. They came, they got what they kind of came for. They did lose out, and there's like
they did pay for it though.
6.5k gold swing towards Complexity. But the question is always, it's always going to be asked, right? Where does that gold go? Who does it go on to? What items do you gain from it? Oh, Limp. Cheeky BKB. Gets himself away. So what do we see from that swing? You know, Blink Force and 2,000 gold online. Fair enough, you've got mobility, and you'll start building into, you know, maybe a Glimmer Cape or something to save yourself up. Elder Titan doesn't necessarily need any big items. He could just go in for a pipe or something for himself to deal with a Radiance from Spectre. But it's the Sven. For Saber, BKB is now ready. 10 seconds.
In a lot of trouble here. DJ can give this a slow rundown. If he can't do it himself, there is of course going to be Horn back online, and well, with the duel set up there, he's to be able to clean this one up. I say, yeah, raw. No messing. Gem now being recovered by Fnatic.
That's big.
That's a nice pick.
Getting their gem back there is really important against Complexity in that Moonlight Shadow. They tried desperately to get Z-Freak out, pop an arrow and everything they could. Jesse has a 10-second beat now.
Yeah.
So Orchid, Shackle, Cask.
Yeah.
Like Cask is the big one. Cask and
really
Radiance.
is. And these fights, especially, you know, when you're looking at the Darkseer and the Sven, they need to be on the front lines to get that wombo combo. So you're going to get those bounces. But suddenly, yeah, as you said with the BKB, you're going to have free reign of getting those God Strength swipes through and cleaning up off the back of a big combo.
Oh, Swindles already has the pipe. Does. Already built that one up a while ago, so it'll be the drums for Titan. I think that'll win laced to something a little bit bigger. There's no vision on the map though from Complexity. You know, the past 5-6 minutes they've been hemmed in their own base on their own side of the river, and that Gem plus Hawk combo from Ohio just been sweeping up through. Nice little scan there. We'll scout out that at least one hero was around towards the dire jungle. Oh, look at DJ. Look where the next assassin standing.
He keeps coming up very, very aggressively.
If they find anyone
Into
but
the
the
base.
Sven, actually, if they find anyone but Sven or Mirana
They
with their
just horn,
BKBs, exactly. They just horn forward. But
Ooh, Moonlight though. Here we go. Complexity, ready to come through. They do it from the high ground, so I believe that ward wasn't quite on the edge of it. No one kind of came down.
I think they know. They definitely know now.
There we go with the
scam.
scam. Bang on from Fnatic. The line's still being drawn. Complexity.
DJ wants to go scout this out as well.
Yeah, DJ actually, I think, dispelled some of the smoke here. Indeed, Complexity now out of it, so they realise that the side of Fnatic realises, and they'll hold off for the time being and just head back to pushing out these lanes and trying to regain some control of the map. But it's obviously proven hard to do so, as Mushi as well pushing in the bottom lane. To Diffusal, Refresher, as we said, and 1,700 gold on top. He's still looking incredibly scary on this Spectre. Complexity going to have to hope that they get the chance, like in that last fight, to just chain lock down the man and allow the Sven to bite into him if they want to bring down this Spectre.
How's 343 looking? He's actually saving up a lot of gold on his Witch Doctor, you know.
2.6k.
Aghanim's not too far away if he wants it. He could even go for a Blink Dagger if he wants to. An Ether Lens, pick up these, you know, nice little items. But
oh, look at this wraparound, look at this wraparound. Here we go, here from the south. Limp going to come through, but nice horn. It's going to rumble them. Swindle still trying to come in, but BKB from mid one, focusing Limp down with a focus fire. And Limp getting blocked up by his own team. Will finally get himself out of there, back to safety now. Jesse trying to look to turn around with the BKB with the God Strength, focusing on 3-4-3. 1-2, give the third. 3-4-3's down. The Royal Edge control Jesse with the vacuum ball onto mid one and Ohio. Now it's Fnatic that need to be able to retreat. Buyback from Lim. They're ready to come in, and Z-Freak fronting the fight at the moment. Chessie's out of mana, but he's still got the God Straight Bubble with the double hit there from the Echo Saber. Takes down a second. Now eyes onto mid one. They'll find themselves a third on the defense. Complexity do hold.
Meanwhile, though, the catch. Mushi, though.
That is the big question here.
Sprinting himself away, but this
Run,
Moonlight
Mushi,
Shadow.
run. Oh, Limpy's gone the wrong way.
Oh, has
no,
he?
no, has
Oh,
he?
yeah, he has
hello.
now. He has
He's
now.
juking himself it.
Arrow.
Limp.
Arrow. Come on.
Oh,
that's
that's a dodge.
Hello.
Mushi.
Not going to give this up so easily. He's got no TP, you know.
Oh.
As long as they keep vision of him.
Oh, he's just brought one out now. Oh, no, you're not tipping out from that one, Jesse. Oh, didn't quite get the Storm Hammer off Mushi. He's juked, though. Run, Mushi, run!
10 years later, they're still chasing him
Right,
through the river.
they've got a Storm Hammer. Here we go. Mushi, what's
And
your
the
idea
arrow
now?
chains.
Yeah.
Nice.
Goodbye, Mushi. Back to base. Lexi will finally catch him out, but space created, certainly to say the least, there from the spec. But still, a massive defense from Complexity. They are still losing the racks slowly but surely. They've got a little bit of health left on the range racks mid lane. Of course, the status of the bottom racks is NA, and top lane is they've got a full racks here. So it's looking, you know, like they are slowly losing control of their own high ground. But at the same time, Fnatic is still getting wiped every now and then.
It's a difficult one to call, right? Because as the game progresses and, you know, buybacks get expended and they get more expensive and, you know, maybe a little more difficult to hold on to if you're buying in these bigger items. Speaking of, Shivers and a Blade Mail there for your Darkseer and your ET respectively. But yeah, as the game progresses and these buybacks become more expensive, I don't even know who to give the actual advantage to. Because Complexity, they need every single piece of the puzzle together, right? Their wombo combo isn't reliant on one or two people, it is the entire squad coming together and being... Oh,
That's
look at
nice
that.
as well, yeah. DJ scouting out the Moonlight Shadow from the boys on Complexity. So it's going to be hard for them to find anything. Jesse as well, looking at this boy, he's got a lot of money. 5k gold on his fans, so I guess the question is, what does he go for? I guess you'd kind of like to see him go for somewhat like a Daedalus just to get some of that raw damage out, or does he need to be the one building the AC for his team?
I even wonder about... And you never want to buy a Monkey King Bar and Sven. Okay. It's never an item you want to buy to deal with evasion. You just want to try and cleave through people instead. You want to choose a different target and cleave onto them, the guys with evasion. But
It may be required here.
Against the Wind Ranger and a Spectre with Radiance, I mean, your BKB does enough against the Radiance, but he's going to go for an Abyssal Blade, it looks like. Oh, wait, no, he's not. It's changed. He's got the Sacred Relic, so... Oh. Is he going for... Is he
going Rapier Sven?
Is he?
I hope it's not a 45-minute Radiance. I mean, this isn't one of my pubs. Come on. This could be brilliant.
They're relying
if they get a Rapier on Chessie.
If they're relying on the wombo combo, then...
Hello, Horn time as they're looking to focus down to Z-Freak, but Z-Freak, he's got backup. Chessie, he's going to come in, but controlled by the York Scepter. It's going to allow Z-Freak to run away. The Raw onto Chessie to get the BKB on top, but look at the focus fire. Chopping through Chessie, they're trying to keep the battle alive, but they won't be able to. Mid one will do it, takes down Sven, there'll be a buyback straight away. That's going to put the Divine Rapier on hold. Now, 3-4-3, coming in with the cast. You're going to be able to follow through as they come back out.
Chessie has no God Strength and no BKB for over a minute now.
It's a hard time for them to fight, but you can see actively they still want to try and do something with this buyback. They want to try and catch off Fnatic. They're already well on their way out at the side of Complexity's jungle, and they're going to be able to escape here.
As long as Fnatic can just reset now, you look across the board for Complexity, right? No wall, no God Strength, no ET ulti or anything like that. They are fully reliant right now on Mirana, Starstorm, and Figure of Death to try and get the numbers advantage. Fnatic can kind of sit back for 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds and say, okay, we'll split push. Get these lanes shoved into your tier 3s and into your racks, and we'll come at you again. Maybe even Sakui Roshan, actually. The big guy's up.
Roche would be a great point for both teams to fight around, and as you said, you know, if Fnatic can get this Roche, you know, just get the Aegis on onto mid one's Wind Ranger. I guess you're looking at this point, you know, he's got this Axe to Bluff one. He's killing enemy one that he can lock down onto. If he can have a second life, he's probably killing 2 people.
You do want your buyback on the Spectre though. 600 gold away from it, because if Mushi walks in, dies, you want that double horn available for the fights coming up. But that might be something they're waiting for as well, and not just the ultimates for Complexity.
Moonlight Shadow here from Complexity. They're ready to go. They're ready to rock and roll. And we'll see if they can catch out anyone around the Roche pit. Mid one's already going to go, and he's actually going to start work on this one. Chessie now moving down. With the pings, can they manage to get the jump here? Shiva's got coming through, sliding in. Chessie pops the BKB. There's the Storm Hammer out to DJ, but dukes it out there with a Vendetta. Disjointed, gets himself away. Sidelines are higher. Even himself out of harm's way. In fact, they may go back in. The Complexity know that they may have dove a little bit too far. There's the Roar, the Horns, the Shackle to Chessie and Swindles. The arrow will come right back, but Chessie already falling low. Can he live through this one? No, he can't. He'll go down, gets Bloodthorn to hell and back, and Swindles. Yeah, Muled up. They're going to look to set up a second one in Ohio. They'll find it at the same time. Lines did die off on the back lines. They find Complexity maybe crumbling here now. Mushi getting himself a double at the same time. Meanwhile, as he pushes into the base.
Yeah, while the fight's happening down on the bottom lane, Mushi's
It's over.
at bottom rack
It's
spot.
over.
1v2ing the Moran and the Elder Titan.
It's over.
It is.
Moosh, 10-17. He certainly didn't build E-Blade this game. What a performance from Fnatic. Complexity, they did their best. There were some very satisfying wombo combos to watch, but I don't know. This certainly felt more like Fnatic versus Complexity. Game one, you know, Complexity just kind of styled over Fnatic. It was an absolute mess. It was like, what the hell is going on, guys? This game, we had a much closer matchup. Fnatic ended up taking it. We're going to be going to a game 3, and I'm just excited to see what happens. And if they try